So I applied for it. And my idea was to work with the dance group from my hometown, Fortaleza, and funny because with my previous work, I didn't have the online classes experience for and switching the day by day training to being online. And I believe for teachers that must have been some challenge, but I did this in the best way possible because I actually won the work grant, the only non-Finnish person to win this work grant. So we were like 11 people. Oh, it was super cool. It was amazing. Yeah. And then they paid me to come to Fortaleza. It was my idea to come to Fortaleza. And then the project was actually a mentorship project, for these very, very, very talented young dancers. They come from a challenging neighborhood here in my hometown, very dangerous, with social issues and everything that comes around it, a lot of violence, but they overcome that with their art, so they dance, they perform, they choreograph, they make videos. It's amazing. So during that time, the project was about, we could only meet personally a few times, but most of it was online. So the mentoring was not only how to overcome the challenges of these first wave of the pandemic. It was actually the second wave when I came to Brazil to do it. It was the following year, the 2021, but also mentoring them. And they were also mentoring me, in my process there, but how they could develop, dance projects. So I was actually passing on to them what the Finnish two artists who selected me, how they did it to me. So I just said, listen, now I want you to create a dance project, your dream work dance project, or whatever you wanted to do. But you never had the opportunity, or financially you could. And then it was just, the project was a mentorship project, and it was so interesting because it was not about me mentoring them, but we were mentoring each other and helping each other go through that, because I was back again to being with students and training and all of this, but in a completely different perspective. And if we didn't trust each other at that time to do that, because they didn't know who I was. Who's this woman coming from Spain, Finland, Portugal? Where are you coming from? Are you Brazilian? Are you Spanish? Who are you? And all of us just appear here telling us that you've got this project, and then you want to mentor us, and you want to give us scholarships, and we're going to develop a dance project that we want to. And then what about Finland? Are you going to exhibit this in Finland? What's this? So they trusted me, and I trusted them as well to develop it. And it was the most beautiful project, the most beautiful initiative I've ever done in my life.
With that, when you're talking about mentorship, there's three things that are the most important. First is your clarity, then it's your communication. Well, it's your commitment, sorry. So it's your clarity through your clarity through communication, then your commitment through continually doing something, and then it is, what's the third one?
Only you know, Zara.
Zara always asks the question, oh, what was I thinking of? Oh, did I? And I was like, I'm not in your head, Zara. I'm not in your head.
With clarity, communication, and commitment.
Okay, there we go.
It's supposed to be in your heads, guys. Like, I can't remember everything I'm supposed to.
You know what? The pandemic, like we're still on the topic of mentorship, but the whole pandemic situation changed coaching, it changed therapy, it changed all of these things. And it's moved from in person, which is brilliant because it's opened up the world, because now, like exactly how we're speaking to you in Brazil, whereas before it was done, but it was less done. Now it's the main thing. People don't really meet up anymore, and it's kind of made things a bit more isolated because everything is remote.
Mm.
How do you feel about the isolation that is, I mean, has it created isolation because we get to see each other from around the world, but we're not seeing each other as much in person, I feel. And how do you think that's kind of changed the way things are?
Do you know what I think?
Mm.
And I'll my own experience to this, of course. So I found it hard, yeah, to socialize again, because as soon as the first wave of the pandemic kind of ceased a little bit, I came back to Spain. My mom passed. Came back to Spain, and pretty much like Zara, I needed to renew my visa, get a new job, find a new apartment. It was just like a complete life change, and and. Oh, guys, can you just? I just completely had a blank. I was gonna talk something. You can edit this, Zara, right? But
Yeah, of course we can.
oh,
You know, I feel like, during the pandemic, did you know that 72% of companies started mentorship programs during the pandemic? It was so stressful and it was such a huge thing for everybody that they started having mentors more often, 72% of companies, because it was
yeah,
that drastic.
yeah. And how do you motivate yourself, right? Being on your own, doing your work, and right. So, but I do think that one challenge, going back to guys, I remember what I was gonna say.
Yay, yay.
Yeah, we of